Welcome back to the channel, everybody. We're big time farmers today. We've stepped up into a little bit of the modern era. This is not my grain cart. Borrowed this from a neighbor. He offered it, and I usually don't like to borrow things like this, but last year he had his big tractor break down, and I loaned him my 7045 to blow silage with. So when he offered this year, I said, you know, I'll take you up on that. I didn't charge him anything to use that 45, just helped him out. So he's not charging me anything to use the grain cart. Can't argue about that. It's a 500 bushel grain cart. As you can see, I can unload in it. Just as long as we're parked right. If you get into any sort of divots or anything, you really got to pay attention to how we're parked. And right now we're on a hill, kind of leaning this way a little bit, so my combine's leaning over, you know, which raises me up and it drops that a little bit. And in order to get it filled into the other side, he's actually got to go turn around. It's that close. But it's working, and it's great. We're still using the grain wagons. We don't have a trucker today. Yesterday he hauled about 4,800 bushel for me though. And we got, I don't know, 3,500 or something left for him by the time it's all said and done here. Maybe a little more. So I've got, I don't know, half an acre here. And there's 13 acres across the tree line. And that's that big valley that I think what we're going to be doing, it's frozen out. I think we're going to be using the grain cart 150 bushel at a time, and then he'll come and fill the wagons on this side of the valley. When I go down through there, I'll record and show you why we're doing that. I don't know, it would probably pull 300 out of there. A rack of weights would make me feel a lot better about that, but he'll have plenty of time to get that hauled over here and offloaded in time for me to get back. The combine won't stop running, so it'll all work out. It's safer that way. Use a little bit more fuel in the 7060, but like I said, it's safer that way. We like safety. Another thing I'd like to point out on that grain cart, since it was bought, my brother has been the one that always gets to fix it. He's real good friends with the guy that owns it. And so that kind of makes me feel better anyhow, because if we break it, we're going to be the ones to fix the damn thing anyhow. So anyway, just one of those things. Just might not get paid for it this time, you know. So here's this hill I'm talking about. Boy, it sure doesn't look too bad in the thing. Here, I'm going to try to hold you level. And then level with the combine. If that gives you any idea. The camera doesn't do it much justice, but I mean, I'm leaning down here and leaning forward. It's a heck of a hill. Ground is just hard as a rock, so and not the best thing to be trying to pull a lot of weight up that hill is what I'm getting at. But last 13 acres will be done before Christmas, one way or another. Right? Glenn, you're going to finish up. If not, we're going to go get Larry. One way or another, it's going to get finished. I have faith in Glenn. It's just there's always a backup plan. You got to have always a backup plan. But I have all the faith in the world in Glenn that he's going to finish the job. For those of you that don't know Glenn, that's my combine, my M2 Gleaner that I'm in here. And then Larry is my brother's L2. See this spot here with all the short. We cleaned up all of these fence lines, and that's where we burned last year. Next year you won't be able to tell, but this year it was compacted, and the fire kills the soil nutrients. So we packed it full of chicken manure right here this year, and by next year it'll be doing pretty good, and then next year you'll never be able to tell. That smudge right there, that's my coffee that I left sitting on top of the combine this morning. That was nice. I don't know, this hill over here doesn't usually produce very good. Well, it didn't last year. Just hard clay. I mean, you can see it. Clay and rocks. That's what this ground is. Little pebbles, not really rocks, but pebbles. And it gets better once you get up the hill, but a big part of that down there is not very good ground, so I don't expect very much out of it. The rest of it up here is looking pretty darn good, so get to picking and see what we find out. Picking corn when everything's going good is one of the more relaxing things to do on the farm. When everything's going good. Cruising right along. On the camera, that almost looks like ground up corn, but I promise you it's not. It's just chaff and stuff. Water. Windows are kind of dusty. Oh, I hear a tree. There's a little bit of deer damage, but it hasn't been very bad at all. Just once I got along this tree line here is where I actually noticed it. We have to be very strategically placed with this thing. If we're not on a side hill right, or perfectly flat, it will not work. This was the third try on this load, which is the first time it's happened to us, but hey, it happens. Figure you get better as the time goes by, but not this time. Phone never wants to focus on the grain in there. It drives me crazy. And it's currently single digits outside with a real feel of -4 the last time I seen. Fun times. We're getting her out though. It is just cold and windy. Not a fun combination. And then there's this mess right along this tree line. I don't know how much of it you can see. I am almost out of water. You can't. Having a hard time talking because I'm parched. But I 3 more loads to go, so maybe 4. Found some wind damage over here, which is the first out of this whole 50 acres that was wind damage. That was the main reason I brought you guys back here. And it was only a couple acres in this back field, it looks like. I can't complain about that, I guess. I can, but consider myself fortunate what the rest of the farm did. So. And there's still corn here. Not that. It's just not as good. Flowing in there pretty good. Well, you didn't see it on camera, but that was ear of corn hitting the windshield. Notice the colder it gets, the more that's happening too. Kind of interesting. Just hit the windshield, bounced right back into the header. Popped up to say hi, I guess. Check out the lack of weeds. That's nice, isn't it? You know something that I do to myself often that just ticks me off every time I do it? I always want to take this combine out of gear before it's fully stopped. And I don't know why. I don't do that with the tractors. I don't do that with vehicles. Why would you do it with your combine? But it's like it drives me nuts. Why do I do that? I'm hoping talking about it to you guys will help me not do it. Because then I'm sitting here on this stiff clutch holding it, and I'm trying to, waiting for the transmission to wind down so that I can put it into gear. And a lot of times what I end up doing is going into first gear because it doesn't grind as much. And the whole time that I've used this combine, I never once had to use first gear. But anyhow, hopefully talking about it solves the issue, right? I can subconsciously stop doing it. Jeez. Yeah, a little corn pick the other night. Bob always yells at me for overflowing the wagon, and he was using that grain cart. I see 2 piles here. I don't want to hear him ever complain to me again. Now he knows. Got the old gas 190 out for this. Got a leaking manifold. I gotta find one. Can't seem to find one for sale. I'm gonna have to make one, but it is. It's just too cold for the 185. The heater doesn't work. The heater broke off one of the prongs inside that I didn't realize until it got cold. So no heater on it. Well, we didn't get done last night. Got really cold. When we stopped finally, it was 9 degrees with a real feel of -9. And the combine started acting up. And I thought the fuel was gelling. That's why we stopped. And found out today my hole was plugged and froze. So when I took the fuel cap off, there was some reverse pressure in there. Oh boy, she might not fire. Well, I guess we didn't wait long enough. If that one don't start, Glenn sure isn't going to start. That's a pretty relatively fresh engine in that. Glenn is due for an overhaul, you know, probably when I bought it 5 years ago.
Make sure you get a video of this for that tractor guy.
Oh yeah?
Yep.
Poor tractor. It's so bad. Oh, I hate cold weather.
Scratch that.
All right.
Take two.
Okay. So that battery's getting weak. I don't know, he threw this on here. What the? Like something's loose over here. Everything's nice and tight. Solenoid. Just ain't got enough juice right now. This battery's getting pretty old, huh? By golly. Oh, poor thing. It did start. It sits 11 degrees. It was on the generator there for about an hour and a half on the heater. Okay. Probably won't be able to hear it over that thing purring over there. Let's see if old Glenn fires up. Oh, right away. It's trying to. Come on, girl. Come on, find all 6 of them. It's there, there's 5 of them. One more. There it is. We found all 6. Hey, it wasn't bad for not to get plugged in for about an hour and a half. Yeah, I mean this engine's seen some work. So I'm not bad. Alright, we'll let these sit here and idle for a little while. We'll keep warm in the truck. Turn my heat on. Car's doing a little bit better over here than I thought it was going to, actually. This is Clay Hill that I was talking about earlier. And it's not doing too bad. Guess I can't complain. This is all we got left. And I'll be done for the year. Got done before Christmas. Way to go, me. This hill is an SOB. And there's drop-offs right there. It's a tube that goes through there. 301 don't care. There's only about 200 bushel in that wagon though too. It's kind of scary driving the combine up. Whole time in the back of your head, you're just thinking, boy, I hope that belt doesn't break. Well, that wraps up picking for 2024. Now we just got to finish loading the semi or the straight truck. Hauling for me today. We've got about 3 more loads to run. And get equipment in the shed because it's supposed to snow and rain. So we got done right in time. I think it's December 12th today. Nope, it's the 13th. As a matter of fact, it's Friday the 13th. Huh. Well, guess it was my lucky today. Yeah, this one does after about 2 hours on the generator. Alright. Good job. Didn't really need that, but we use it just to give it that extra juice. Starting it cold, no sense in wearing your battery down. It's that little bit of extra insurance. Alright. Sometimes you gotta get creative. We found a nice rut to pull the center dump into. Wasn't the easiest thing getting that auger under there, but we're unloading it without having to drive it down myself, so that's nice. Well, there goes the last load. I'll have a jag in here, and there's a jag in here. I'm going to put it into this center dump wagon, take it myself. Maybe 150 bushel. That wouldn't fit, but no sense in having him come back and getting that. That's got really good tires on it, travels really well. That's a heavy duty John Deere running gear. So that wagon travels nice on the road. Alright, got everything wrapped up over here. Auger taken down, everything closed up, and the trash that accumulates in the seams, got that all cleaned out. Same with up there. That way stuff doesn't rot. Oh, look at all the birds up there. Ready to build nests for us to dig out of next spring. Nice. Lovely. I don't know how they get in there, but they definitely get in there. So yeah, another little job wrapped up. The old field boss did his job. Good little tractor as long as it's plugged in. Nice auger too.